Welcome, everybody. Head coach Paul Haynes is joined by redshirt freshman running back Will Matthews. Coach.
Again, difficult loss. You look at the numbers and you probably take them, every week. We just came up about 2 plays short, at the end of the game. But controlled most of the game, kind of drove the ball, stuck ourselves in the foot, early in the game. Probably could have had at least 3 points, but turned the ball over, and they made a couple plays at the end that we didn't. But again, liked our game plan. Our game plan worked, but just came up a little short.
Just looking at the whole thing, what positives and negatives do you get out of the fact that you've been right in every game, you've been in control several of them coming into the last several?
I think again, when you look at when you're on a 4th and 5th quarterback, and you're still coming up with ways to find points, and that's what people don't realize. Everybody's gung-ho about, but the offense, which is fine, but every week it's going to get a little bit tougher. The more film they get on, it's going to be a little bit tougher. So we got to execute, keep executing and keep adding a little bit more to it. But we've been moving the ball. We've been doing that. Again, Nick had a turnover, with the interception, but those things sit there and happen, but you're right there. I mean, you're right there in every single game in this conference, and we just got to sit there and finish. We just got to sit there and finish, and we got to close the game when we're up. And that's kind of been our Achilles right now. Just we've played better in adversity than we've had when we're up, and that's what we got to make sure that we just close it out when we can. It doesn't matter what it is. I told these guys this morning, if we beat a team 100-0, the only person that's got to answer is me, and I wear big boy pants. But it's not on them. So keep putting our foot pedal to the metal and keep going and keep making plays. And we talk about all the time, don't look at the scoreboard when you're down. It's the same way when you're up. Just keep putting the pedal to the metal, and it's not your fault if you keep scoring or if you stop them.
Is that another part of the progression though, to learn to do that?
It always
be here when you're up instead of that.
Yeah, and we've spent a lot of time on the other, the adversity part, and we got that down. Now we got to sit there and we got to work on, the other part, of it, of just closing it out, and you hate to say go for the jugular, but that cliche to sit there and just put it away.
Well, how hard is it, as a player to not get fixated on the fact that you're 3 possessions away from being 5-2, having so much more going on positively, and just keep plugging it?
I mean, it's difficult to know as a team that we're right there, and just a couple plays we could finish the game, but we just have to keep executing, keep coming in, preparing, and keep working, because it'll look bad right now, but as long as we keep working, we can turn it into good.
Do you get a sense that everybody's on the same page there?
Yes, sir. I feel as if everybody is on the same page. Nobody is speaking down anything, because we know as a team that we're gelling together and we're getting there. So I think everybody's good.
Talk about this new offense from your perspective and what you like about it, and kind of giving you some opportunities to make some games.
The new offense is good. Nick is definitely making a lot of good plays. When he came in, as soon as he came in, he started making a difference. So it's helping us a lot. We just have to just keep executing. It's just small things that we're not executing, and when we do fix that, we'll turn the small plays into big plays and touchdowns and et cetera.
Just again, kind of looking back at these games you're talking about, as a defensive coach, you've had your defense on that field, really being realistically going into most of these games in the exact position that you would want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Defense on the field and just kind of close it out. And for various reasons, haven't done it. It's got to be frustrating, obviously. What do you do? You want to get back in that situation as soon as possible, I'm sure, because I know you probably still feel pretty confident in your ability to close the game.
Yeah, there's definitely. You sit there and we talked about it. That's the strength of our team is our defense, most experience. You know, but again, it should never even get to that point in those things. If we do the things during the course of the game, you know, when we're up, that it should ever come to that point. I mean, this game was a tough game because you watch the film and there's so much good. I mean, you take away 3 plays and you take away 99 yards and you hold them to 100 and something yards, and you do that at any point in time in defense of the history of college football. Maybe not back in the 50s, you know, but what's so hard about this deal is you look at the numbers and you take it. It's just one play here that we got to learn how to finish it, and you know, but you can go back and second guess yourself like crazy, and they drive 20 more yards and they kick a field goal and beat you by a point, and you're knocking yourself on your head to pressure. So we're not going to do that, and I'll take it every single week. We just got to do it better. We got to make sure that we do the things for one, not to get to that point, and for two, we just got to make a play.
Was Nate on that last play? I mean, he blitzed. The back was his guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just from Nate's perspective, I mean, you know, it's shocking when it happens to him for obvious reasons.
Right.
He doesn't make a play because he's made so many.
Right.
Did it surprise him a little? The back did maybe stay in to protect, and he kind of got out on her, you know, from the coach.
No, they were in empty.
Okay.
So they didn't have a back. He was actually lined up as a, you know, as a wide out. And, you know, like you said, I have the utmost confidence in Nate to make that play 9 out of 10 times. He just didn't on this time. So I'll put him in that situation again, and he's going to be the hardest on himself. You know, in that situation, he'll get better. But, again, we look at that play as the play. There's a lot of other ones that we never should have been in that situation to have to win it at that point.
What was Nate like after that?
Disappointed. I mean, very, very disappointed. But, again, he'll work on it. He'll get better, and I'll put him in that situation again.
Any update on Nick at this point?
Not at this point. Again, I think he has to go through that protocol, and we'll know during the week.
If he can't go, you mentioned the other day that Miles was your backup.
Mm-hmm.
He would start.
He will start.
Where does Reardon fit in at this point?
He's been a wide out.
Staying a while.
He's staying that wide out.
Just looking at the East and how, I mean, your game out, I mean, so many things you could be in a lot better shape, but you
Right.
know where you are, I mean, it's
Right.
still kind of up for grabs.
That's the crazy part. I mean, you're still a game away from being, you know, at the top. So there's still a lot to play, still a lot of football to play, still a lot of things to play for. So, you know, just like Will said, we'll go in there, we'll grind it out, and we'll continue to work. That's all we can do. You know, it's not to sit there and just talk about we are where we are. We showed them, you know, we showed them a deal this morning. There's 32 teams who are 2-5 or worse. But it's not about where we are right now. It's about where we're going to finish. And that's what everybody's going to remember is where we finish. So you just got to sit there and concentrate on today. Let's be great today, and then we'll continue to do it. And hopefully we pull those games out, you know, down the road. But we still got to be in those positions to sit there and be able to pull a game out.
Well, do you feel confident, like, preparation-wise? I mean, you've been here for 2 years, and last year you didn't play, but do you see an evolution as far as preparation goes and feel like you're going into these games ready to roll?
Yes, I feel like we go in the game ready and confident that we got our job. We know what we have to do. We've seen what they do, and it's all on capitalizing after that.
You had that one big run. You took some people on. Is that one of them deals where it seems like you make those runs where you get more comfortable and kind of more confident? You feeling pretty good about where you're at right now and your ability to pull a run like that off? I mean, as far as just feeling good about yourself at this point?
It does feel good, but just have to keep making it happen more. The O-line and the receivers are doing a great job blocking, so as long as we just all keep working, plays like that will happen, and not only just for me, but for everybody else.
Just flipping gears to Ohio, what do you see there?
Again, tough football team, just like all Frank Soldiers football teams. You know, they're going through a rotation at quarterback that they're playing 2 quarterbacks. Both of them are, you know, I wouldn't say they're totally different. They're not changing their offense based off of what when each guy is in there. They both can hurt you with their legs. That's always the difficult, you know, problem of really they're running them a little bit, but not a whole lot. But they're beating you and dropping back and beating you, scrambling and things like that. So it always poses a problem. You know, defensively, they just play tough. I mean, not a lot of people have scored a lot of points on them. So it's going to be difficult for us to sit there and make sure we sustain drives. We got to be great on 3rd down to sustain drives, and we got to put points on the board.
They're a little bit similar in that they've had some games that they could have won too. Yeah, they are where they are as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of really everybody in the East, I guess, in the
Yeah.
same boat, but just them in particular since you're playing them.
Mhm.
What do you see there as far as a couple of things that they maybe need to do a little better, or if they would have done better, they'd be even better?
Yeah, that's kind of hard for me to answer. You know, as far, I mean, again, you watch them on film, and I'm sure they feel that, you know, the same way. They're a couple plays away from being, you know, maybe undefeated or whatever. You know, but again, I know what we have to do to make sure that we, you know, put ourselves in position to win the game, and that's really all I concentrate on.
Anybody jump out at you on either side of the ball for them?
I think they're great at wideout. I mean, I think that's the other dynamic that they, you know, when you look at Miami, they were stronger at their running back position with an inexperienced quarterback. These guys have a little bit of inexperience at quarterback, but they're dynamic at wideout, and they're good up front. You know, so it poses a problem. We got to be good out on the edges. So, again, what do? Do you play coverage? Do you play single high to sit there and load the box? That's going to be the game that we're going to have to play, because we're going to have to stop the run. You know, every Frank Solich team wants to make sure that he established the run. You know, they're very good in the middle and up front on defense, and that's why they've done a great job of stopping the run. So we got to make sure we find ways that we can establish the line of scrimmage and be able to run the football.
It's kind of every time you play, whoever wins the line of scrimmage pretty much wins this.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough, hard no. That's why we got to get, you know, guys like Will and healthy, because we're pretty banged up right now. That we just got to get them ready to roll by Saturday, because this is always a tough, hard-nosed, knock them in the mouth, old-school football game.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do preparation-wise? It's got to take it as it comes.
Yeah, I don't even know how we're going to practice right now. We might be in shorts, you know, just because of the nicks and bruises that a lot of our guys have. It's not that we don't think that they'll be ready on Saturday. It's just will they be ready by tomorrow? And that's going to be, you know, we're going to have to talk about it today and be creative about how we practice to make sure that we're preparing and get our guys ready to go on Saturday.
Most of the guys that came out went back in.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which is obviously good news.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, like you say, you don't want to.
Right.
You still got to be careful, even though they did come back.
Yeah, we got to be careful during the week that we don't, you know, that's always the tough balance, you know, and especially I mean, we're not crying over spilled milk. Everyone's, you know, in that situation, I'm sure, you know, at this point in time, you know, in college football, but it's the ankles, you know, it's the shoulders, it's the how much do you do, how much hitting do you do, how much all that really. I mean, we'll practice, we'll cut it down a little bit, but we'll practice. It's just how much hitting do you do, how much, you know, things that you do that these guys can still get prepared. That's where we have to be creative.
You know, Will, you got 2 road games now back to back. Since the Akron game haven't been home, obviously a big game here, and having it at home is pretty nice. Feel pretty good to come into a home game.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about playing at home.
Oh, I mean, it's the home crowd. It always feels good to play at home. The fans will get our team together when we're down. If we're down, they're our supporters. So it's always good to be at home to have that extra support. Yeah.
You talked a little bit about the special teams improving last night.
Mhm.
The coverage units.
Yeah.
Have you done anything different with Shane the last couple of weeks? Because it seems like, I mean, he's getting a little deeper, a better direction. I don't really.
I'll let you talk to Shane about that. He swears it's the ball he uses. So I'm not buying it. I told him I was going to sit there and color the ball, a different ball. I mean, it is, but he swears it's the ball. I mean, we had a 45-minute conversation on golf and everything else at the balls that they use. So it's the ball he's using.
Does he pick his own ball, or how's that work?
He likes a certain ball. You ask him. All right, I'm out of it. I'm out of it. You can ask him. What was that one movie with Titanic? What's the guy who had the ball on the island? He named it Wilson. Yeah, yeah. Ask him. I guess he has a relationship with one of the balls.
Kicker.
He said, "You said it. I didn't."
Well, I mean, the coverage though, along with him, has been good.
It's been better. We've done a lot during practice. You know, and I commend these guys. You look down the roster, we got a lot of guys that are playing, not only on offense and defense, but a lot of them playing on special units too. But we spend a lot of time on it. We spend, you know, we sit there and go through drills, and then we don't really install the game plan really until Thursday. And we do drills on Tuesday, we do drills on Wednesday, and then they watch the film and we install what we're going to do, because it still comes down to the fundamentals. So I think our guys understand it a little bit better is why we're getting better coverage units.
One thing I just wanted to ask you, along with kind of the general or the typical things, is about Coach Hazel
Yeah.
being fired to you yesterday. Obviously, you guys coached together. The things he did kind of paved the way for you to have this job. Do you have any comment about what happened yesterday?
Again, it's the doggy dog, you know, of this profession. You know, again, I don't know the situation there, so it's hard for me. I know he's a great coach. I know he's a great person. And I know a lot of guys on the staff that do a great job coaching and everything. But it's a part of the profession. We all know it. You know, but I'll be there to support him.
Have you guys kind of kept in contact since you took the job?
Oh, yeah, always. Yeah, always. We text back and forth last night. And, you know, like I say, a good person, and he'll be fine, though. He'll be in good shape, and a lot of his assistants will be in good shape.
Just one last one. I mean, it's something that always happens when some people say when this happens, he's got a couple years left in his contract. Obviously, he's made a lot of money.
Right.
There's a segment of people out there that always, when this happens, like, oh, well, he's all right, he's fine.
Yeah.
From a coach's perspective, what would you say to people that have that approach?
I don't think, again, you know, it's just like, I think it's just like when guys see professional athletes want to trade a team, you know, and, well, they're making this much money, what does it matter what team they're on? It's really it's not always about the money. Once you make it, it doesn't become about the money, it becomes about winning. So I think, again, all the time and the effort that coaches put in and day out, it's not just about the money. You want to put a product on the field, and you want to build a program. You know, so that it's a little bit more than just, you know, what the money is, and that's what a lot of people look at. But our name's on every single thing that we put out there. So you just want to make sure that you put a good product out there. So it's a little bit more than just, will he be all right financially? Yeah. But does anyone want to get fired? No, you know, because of the time and effort that they put into it. They want to continue that. And you know, we're in a microwave society now. It's got to be fast. It's got to be done fast. But the process, it takes a long time for a process to sit there and happen. And in our day and age in college football, the process always doesn't get done in time.
Will, real quick, we saw you, used to see you as kind of an in-between the tackles kind of guy that maybe catch a few short passes, but you caught a long one against Miami. You were probably, 30 yards downfield? How did you feel on that play? Is that something you'd be comfortable with going forward this year?
It felt good. Coach gave me the opportunity to get out and do a couple things outside the box. So he put that trust in me, and as long as I'm able to make plays, I feel like they'll keep making that work. But it makes everything better for everybody else, because the defense has more people to worry about, and we can get the ball in other people's hands. I think it'll be good.
All right, thank you.